traditional scientific interaction where we sit in a dark room and listen to one person talk was kind of getting to me. So I thought maybe field work, where we all sort of have different things we want to do, but we don't just go off and do them on our own, but we share the experience. Like you go out and help someone do something that you're not very good at and learn something, and then they come and help you with what you're doing and they learn something. And honestly, if you take a bunch of scientists and you throw them in a boat or a truck or whatever and you're going somewhere, they're just talking about science the whole time. So I thought, that's good. There's no dark room, there's no one person talking. We'll try it out. And it was brilliant. It was really great. 7 labs went to Curacao for 10 days a year ago. And this year we decided to do it again. We had 11 labs and they went for 2 weeks.
This was probably the first protistological expedition in the history of humankind. You have zoological expeditions, botanical ones, you name it. But you probably never heard a group of scientists would come together who study single-celled organisms, go to an island and there mingle and try to catch as many of them as possible.
The whole planet is basically surviving on microbial ecosystems. And so studying those ecosystems, understanding how they work and how they might change is of unquestionable importance to understanding the way the planet should function.
I had not gone to Curacao previously and in fact have never done field work previously. And I was motivated to go because I want to learn more about the diverse ways in which our organisms survive in the environment. But I can't do that without learning how to do field work. And so Curacao was this unbelievable opportunity to shadow some of the world's leaders in looking at microbial eukaryotes in the environment. And I really can't imagine a better way to learn how to do this. And so for me it was, while we did have some very modest scientific goals for the trip, our primary goal was to be around people who knew what they were doing and try to absorb some of that.
It's extremely exciting to do a trip like Curacao because if you imagine then it's not just your lab and your research interests that are happening, it's 15 to 20 research projects going in parallel on linked questions and associated themes. And then it becomes quite a powerful experience because you can, there's a standard answer which is, oh, I can get at new methods, but that's not really what it's about. It's about understanding that environmental system, that biological phenomenon. And, biology is complicated. There's lots of things happening in an ecosystem driven by lots of different organisms. And actually, we need to start thinking across our individual research focuses to actually get at what's going on.
You're sort of sharing these goals, like go help me with this, go help me with that. It's very spontaneous. So you'd go down in the morning and someone would say, oh, I'm going out to a salt flat. Does anyone want to come? And a few people would pile into the car and off they'd go. And sometimes we did things all together, like big driving tour around the island and sampled different kinds of places as we went. Bat caves, wet caves, wells, selenias, all sorts of things. So it was a bit of an adventure. And there's always time for talking.
A trip like the trip to Curacao is very important, and it's a different way for the members of the program to interact with one another. They're working together very closely throughout the day, they're socializing together, and so the exchange of ideas and information is that much more intense. And it also highlights one of the aspects of the program, that is exploration.
You never know what you will find. Sometimes some things that you expect must be everywhere, you cannot stumble across it. And on a good day, you will come across something really unique. So it's that's the unpredictability aspect of all these expeditions. In the last 20, 30 years, there is much less of this type of work. And we are facing one sad situation when the tropics is becoming depleted of its diversity. So we are also trying to catch whatever is still left there, because in another 20 years, some of these organisms may be gone and we have never even seen them.
When you get into science, it's because you want to discover something new. And what's surprising to me is just how much we don't know and how much there is out there to discover. And so much of that may prove to be really important in the long run.